What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Tatiana, and I'm glad to be back. So, on my mental health check-in today, I'm doing pretty good. I have nearly been pulling my hair out with this whole redecorating process, but I'm gonna hold it together. My bed actually came today. Um, I remember on the last recording, I was sounding weird in the beginning. I kept saying my bed frame. So what I meant to say is I've been had my not my bed frame, not my bed frame, my box spring. Yeah, so my box spring is metal, right? And then also the bed frame that I'm going to get is also metal, but it's gold. And my bed just came today, but what I was trying to say to y'all is like I hope this all works out the way that I wanted to, because metal on metal, like I just don't know how that's going to be. But I had Googled it or whatever, and they said everything would be fine. But child, we just gonna have to see. Oh yeah, the rug was super ugly. Had to send that back immediately. I thought I was getting a terracotta burnt orange rug. Turns out it was not that. It was definitely giving throw up brown. I literally peeked at it. Like once the guy had dropped it off, I peeked at it. I did not like it. It was too shaggy for me. It just looked like ratty. So I left it in its casing. And I basically just told FedEx to come get their shit. And I sent it back and basically like quote unquote refuse the package, but I'm definitely gonna get my money back. Like they just said, like, once, and I think it got delivered to them today, as a matter of fact. I think I shipped it off on like Wednesday or Thursday or something, last Wednesday or Thursday. But yeah, I should be getting my money back in like the next couple of days. And it's so crazy how things fall apart in order for other things to fall together, because I seen a way cuter rug on Amazon. It's going to get here in 2 days. I seen it. I love the pattern. I love and it's crazy because the color pattern of the rug matches my curtains perfectly. So like I said, sometimes things just fall apart so other things will fall together, but I'm so happy. Like, yeah, it could have been worse. I don't know if there's any other, I mean, aside from like bedding, I'm getting all the like my bedding and stuff like last. Like that's like the ass end of the things that I need to like buy. And of course, like having the guys come and take like the stuff that I don't want out of my crib, but for the most part, like I have like everything. Um but yeah, that's my little quick little update on that with the whole, bedroom situation. But yeah, I wanted to come on here today to talk to y'all about something. First, I wanted to initially say, right, y'all know I have mentioned in previous episodes, like everywhere you go, there you are. And funny enough, I recently was watching a interview with Dr. Bryant. Beautiful, very eloquent, very demure, very mindful young woman. She just recently had an interview with Cam Newton and Nick Cannon, and essentially just lit a fire underneath their ass. And I think the conversation that she had with them was very necessary. I could tell she is very masterful at what she does. She's been in the game for about 17 years. She's done rub shoulders with the best of them. She name dropped Oprah. I was like, oh, okay. She talking about Mama O. Like they homegirls. I was like, all right, that was a flex. That was a flex. But yeah, she's worked with like different public officials, and she's worked within government, different things like that. Um, I was watching one of her master classes on her page recently because I just subscribed to her, and it was really dope. She was holding a master class on how to speak better. But yeah, the conversation that I heard with Cam Newton and both Nick Cannon, like I said, was very necessary. And like I said, I know she is a woman who has studied psychology because she understands how to disarm people, flatter them, and then hit them where it hurts. That's where you get them. That's why I said, like, she really, I was listening to her. I was watching how she speak. I was listening to like her tonality, everything. Like she really knows how to talk to people. But yeah, that was a whole entire shit show. If I'm just gonna give my brief opinion on both, I think that it is very, what's the word? I don't think it's progressive for men who are affluent or not to be out here having a bunch of kids and creating broken homes. I think that regardless if those men have money or not, they definitely think with a poverty mindset. They give Pookie, um, and I don't think that they're very demure, very mindful about the decisions that they make. And I think that they have personally been mating from the waist down and not the neck up. Maybe the women whom they've chose are definitely dating from the neck up. I will never say that it is a problem for women to primarily primarily date a man of means, because at the end of the day, as a woman, you should prioritize security. And there's nothing wrong for you going after a particular man if you want to live a particular lifestyle. Now, what comes along with that man is what you got to deal with. Right. But I don't think that you have to settle for crumbs. And I don't think that you have to end up a third baby mother in order to get the lifestyle that you want. But yes, should you be coming up off an affluent man? Yes, you shouldn't just be sitting around twiddling your thumbs. As a matter of fact, you would be very stupid as to not capitalize off of dealing with an affluent man who could clearly change your lifestyle and your bank account. So I'm not really understanding why everybody has all of this vitriol for women who want to deal with a particular kind of man of a certain kind of caliber, when at the end of the day, like, if you were these guys, you would choose these women as well. So I'm not really seeing what's the issue here. Like, case in point, the guys, you don't want us to like you for your money, but what the fuck do you want us to like you for? Like, what is it? Do you want us to like you for your personality? Because generally the average guy has a very shitty personality, and it might be good for the bros, but it's not good for the gals. So I'm trying to figure out, like, why, what is it that we should prioritize or use as a prerequisite aside from you having money that'll make us choose you. Real question. I don't want to stay too long on the topic. Like I said, I thought that Dr. Bryant was very great in the way that she handled the situation. And the reason why I came on here today is because of something she said within the interview, and how I know for a fact that the phrases that she made in regards to being, we already know about high value and low value, but she invited a new phrase into the conversation, and it's high functioning, low functioning. And just to give a brief overview on how she described it to, obviously high value meaning coming equipped with a bunch of resources, obviously tangible goods, being a part of a particular kind of social status and having access to particular kind of things, that would obviously be high value. But high functioning would be somebody who would have emotional intelligence, great conflict resolution, someone who has done the inner work and who is healing themselves in order to be not only beneficial to themselves, but beneficial to the people around them. And I wanted to come on here and talk about the times that I myself was low functioning and the people that I attracted. So I can't just sit up here and light a fire under Cam Newton and Nick Cannon, because I too at one point was like, I don't know, what's the equivalent to like a Pookie for a girl? Like a Keisha? I don't know, like a Nene? Like I don't know what you would call that. But like, I too at one point was very low functioning, and because I was low functioning, I attracted particular kind of people. And I hate the phrase like, what is the phrase? Like, you are who you attract. I don't necessarily believe that. I feel like if you have any bit of light inside you, you are going to attract a variety of different people. I think you attract who you choose. So that's just my own opinion. So I know I said on like previous episodes or whatever, like everywhere you go, there you are. So when I was very low functioning, right? Whether it be purposefully being low functioning by smoking, drinking, chilling with different kind of people, or having these different kind of childhood wounds, or abandonment issues and all of these other kind of different things that contributed to my bad behavior, I too at one point was very low functioning. I kind of don't want to give those two men, grown ass middle-aged men, a pass, because they've had a lot more life experience than me, and because they're not dumb, especially Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon is not dumb, and Nick Cannon actually had admitted to being a low down, dirty, sneaky, conniving motherfucker. And he said it on candid camera. And like he basically said, like, I know when to code switch, I know when to lie, I know when to put on, I know when to take you to the to the mosque or take you to the church. I know when to tell you when I'm acting like I'm celibate, and I can tell you all the, and then then as soon as you get comfortable, the nigga come out. But anyway, uh like I said, I don't want to light too much fire under their behinds, because I will also say that these women decided to choose these men as well. So looking at these interviews really made me do introspective work on myself. Like, I too was once choosing people who vibrated on this frequency that matched my low self-esteem, that matched my low self-worth, that matched me not being purposeful, that matched me just not being self-assured, and being desperate for validation. And again, everywhere you go, there you are. So it didn't matter if somebody lived in another state or in another neighborhood, or come from a different kind of background than I grew up. Like, we are spirits having a human experience, and it didn't matter if I met somebody over the internet or if I met them in my hood. I was attracting people whose frequency I vibrated on, and I ended up in very tumultuous situations because of that. But even in being in those situations, right, there's still something that the creator has gifted most of us women. I'm not going to say men don't have it, but most of us women have been given the gift of discernment and intuition. And there was still something in the back of my head, even through all my dysfunction, even through all of the abusive relationships I've dealt with, even through all my desperation and staying in situations that I ain't have no business staying in far too long. I still had that voice in the back of my head, like, you could leave, right? Like, today's the day. Today you should be leaving. And I constantly ignored that voice in the back of my head, because I had been conditioned with empathy. I had been conditioned with selflessness. I had been conditioned with that ride or die mentality. And I had been conditioned to give people a lot more grace than they didn't deserve. So I stayed in situations because of that. And also coupled in with, abandonment wounds and feeling a sense of failure when I got attached to somebody, because I'm not somebody who just gets attached to anybody. When I got attached to somebody, and maybe I'm thinking I have to walk away from them, but like I said, also having a mentality of like, I don't want to give up on people because I got a lot of shit with me too. But that's not an excuse. I can still have a lot of shit with me and go figure out my stuff on my own. I don't need to continue to attach myself to a human being who clearly is not beneficial to my life. But these men were a direct correlation of the lack of self-worth that I have for myself. And this isn't me demonizing anybody, because I will never sit up here and say like it was all bad with any of them. I'm just going to say, like, at the end of the day, like, I couldn't see a difference within any of them. And I'm not a person who necessarily like has a type, right? Like, outside of them just being taller than me, or maybe just being brown or like dark skin or whatever, like, I genuinely, like I said, I mess with men in all different kind of social classes with different personalities and from different states and different kind of things, like accents and all kinds of stuff. So I like to give everybody a chance, because I never know what's gonna stick. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't believe that, men are a monolith. I like to you know, check out, I like to scope the scenery out pretty much. You know what I'm saying? And I like what I like when I like what I like it. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, like being with these men were a direct correlation of the lack of self-worth that I had within myself. And they held up a mirror to me. And then I had to clock my own dysfunction. Like, girl, you chose these guys. And you have to take full accountability for that, because even in your dysfunction, even in your abandonment, even in you not having the self-worth, you still had that voice from your creator in the back of your head telling you wanted to leave. And instead of you picking people from the discernment that you give your creator, you pick people from your own selfish decision of, this is what I want to do and I'm going to stick at it. And your creator is going to give you everything that you want. And I don't think people understand that. Be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. Your creator is going to give you everything you want. It ain't going to give you too much pushback. Oh, this is where you want to be? Okay, but I'm going to show you exactly why you don't want to be there. I'm going to make it hell for you to stay in this particular situation as long as you think you can go against all of the blessings that I got for you on the other side of your dysfunction. So it's gonna keep hurting you and hurting you and hurting you and hurting you, and you're gonna keep hurting yourself until you pull yourself up by your own bootstraps and say, you know what, I had enough. I'm tired of the people in my life reflecting back the most ugliest parts of myself. Like I said on a video, like, now that I am what I believe a high functioning woman now, like I said, I have the conflict resolution. I went through my own spiritual journey. I have the patience and the kindness and the love within me that I believe I can share within somebody else. The passion, the purposefulness, all of that. The next time I choose someone, or even we're not even just talking about romantic partnerships. The next time I choose to accompany myself with anybody, they are going to reflect back the positive attributes that I have in myself, because I believe I'm in a season where I deserve that. I deserve to be in good company. I deserve to be around people who reflect the great parts of me, because for so many years I settled for looking at pieces of myself within people that I chose that I did not like. And for a time, I really tried to put the blame on them. I tried to say they wasn't shit. I tried to rationalize all of they dumb stuff. I really did. And then I even made excuses for some of these people. But you know what? I can still have the grace in my heart to understand, like, this person is an individual. They went through their own, journeys, and they went through their own journey, and they're trying to figure out their shit too. And while I can have grace for that, I don't need to stay in this situation, right? I don't need to hold their hand through this, because if this is supposed to be a relationship and this ship isn't sailing into progression, if this ship isn't sailing forward into us becoming better versions of ourselves, and we ain't, rolling arm in arm through that shit, I got to get the fuck out of Dodge, and I got to worry about myself. So again, it's not about who you attract. It's about who you choose. In a season where I was like broken, and, even when I was like mid, because, I would even say back in 2023, I was like 1 foot out, 1 foot in. Like I was doing the work, but I still was entertaining shit that I ain't had no business entertaining. But I said to myself coming into 2024, like, listen, ain't nobody getting into this queendom, or ain't nobody coming into destroy what I already done built up. So now I have a mindset of protection, of guarding my castle, of saying absolutely not to anybody who comes in and tries to infiltrate what I got going on. But yeah, when I was, back in 2023, when I was bouncing back and forth between all of this, then a third, I would have been still arguing with people, having debates and feeling like I need to be right and all this, that, and third. Now, I promise you, now that I do vibrate on a higher frequency, I have better conversations with men, and even with people who I had to dismiss. It ain't no long, drawn out fights no more. It's just like, yo, like, I see we done crossed the threshold of getting into our first tiff. And I didn't like the energy that you gave to me. And this ain't necessarily about running away from people who I'm in disagreement with. But if my body is telling me that I need to walk away from you, then I'm not going against that anymore. I have to listen to my insides. When my brain is trying to rationalize all of the dysfunction around me, my body is literally telling me everything I need to know. It's telling me whether I'm in fight or flight mode. Right? But I could sit there and eloquently telling me, and now, like, you know what? Like, I wish you the best. Like, we were cool. We had a little issue with each other. And I guess at this point we have to go our separate ways. And it ain't no love lost, and it ain't no bad blood. But before, I probably would have stayed in a situation too long, outweighing my welcome, letting the man come, infiltrate, gaslight, future fake, do all of the things, and be mad because he wasted my time when really I'm wasting my own. Worried about feeling lonely, worried about needing somebody around, worried about entertaining something because I'm bored and this person just something to do when it's nothing to do. And now I've done developed this emotional attachment to them, and it's done spiraled into something that it ain't need to be. So yes, as a high functioning woman, I take 100%, regardless of me, I just came into like the mental health thing, like maybe like 5 years ago, right? Before even I got on my mental health kick, before I had, the right words to articulate myself when it came to, having different disagreements with people and knowing how and learning how to articulate myself in a way that didn't offend or that I came off a particular kind of way, but really talk my way through and regulate my emotions within me, speaking to different people. Like, there still was a voice in the back of my head that was telling me, even when I didn't know it all, like, you need to leave. And this is why I tell y'all all the time, like, you are equipped with everything you already need, and it's already inside you. You just got to tap into it, and you got to stop ignoring it. You either got to stop ignoring it or you got to go and discover it. And I should have been doing a great deal of both. But I take 100% responsibility. And again, this isn't me demonizing anybody, because I understand everybody has to go through their own path of them, coming into their high functioning self, if that's something that they want. But everybody don't want that. And this is not me excusing any of their behavior. I still think that a great portion of them is still fuck niggas, or at least it's some fuck nigga shit. And it is what it is. But I don't need to get up here and call nobody everything but a child of God because, they did some. I'm not an innocent person. I'ma just say that. I'm by no means innocent. But I never was a person who would intentionally come. Like, we all have our own bullshit, but me personally, I would never intentionally go into somebody's life and have them believe that I'm all into them, knowing that I'm not. I would never do that. I would never do that. I don't have a poker face to do that. So, and I think a lot of people may have took advantage of that. But again, there were signs. There were signs that I purposely ignored because I enjoyed the company of this person in the times that everything was going good. But I was ignoring the red flags because that was what I wanted to do. So ladies, we have to take accountability. I understand we have been conditioned certain kind of social flaws that are to our detriment and have us in situations longer than we need to. But you have to take accountability for your poor decisions. You have to. That's a part of acceptance. That's a part of getting through the grief of you having to leave people alone. That's a part of you being on the opposite side and feeling those moments of joy where you like, damn, I don't have to be in my victimhood no more. I can be a victor through this shit. And then it have to take nothing and nobody for me to realize that, except for my goddamn self, because I looked myself in the mirror and I was honest with me. But the people that I want to have in my future, like, I know I haven't met everybody who's supposed to love me yet. So why would I be worried about my past? Why would I continue to, not only attract, but keep people in my life who aren't going to be reflective of the version of me that I want to see when I look in the mirror 10 years from now, 20 years from now. I'm not saying this shit is easy. It is absolutely hard to break out of bad habits. It is absolutely hard to break away from toxic relationships, but it is absolutely necessary. And I promise you, all of them days you have to cry, all of them weeks you have to get through it, on the opposite side of that, you are going to feel so fucking proud that you stuck to the plan. You have to be steadfast on the plan. Who do you want to look at? How proud do you want to be when you look at the person that you're looking at in the mirror? Who are the people who are going to be around you, and how are they going to reflect who you are? What do those people look like? How do they talk? What are their mannerisms? How do they come to you with conflict in situations where y'all ain't getting along? What does that look like? You have to visualize that stuff in your head, write that stuff down, put it on paper, do that spell work. I know a lot of y'all motherfuckers is witches. So y'all know what I'm talking about. Put it down on paper, make it real. But you have to take accountability. We are not fucking victims. Not over here on my platform, we're not. I'm going to call you out, and I'm going to call myself out every single time. Again, I come on here telling my truth, so hopefully it inspire you to get in your truth, walk in your truth, tell your truth. It's hard. So it might not be today. This shit might not resonate for the next couple of months. It might not resonate until, New Year's come around. We got 4 months left in the year. What are you going to do with your time? I may be mentally high functioning, but there are still bad habits that I got to break out of. I'm not even going to hold y'all. It's still shit that I got to do my damn self, because ain't none of us perfect. I'm just saying, you got to fucking try. You got to try. You got to get out of the idea of thinking that you got to settle for less just because somebody paying you some attention. You got to get out of the idea of thinking that you need validation from people who couldn't even hold a candle to you for real. And again, this ain't no slight to nobody else, because at this point, you wouldn't even want to hold a candle to you. You so depleted. You so in the toilet about yourself. You so in the dirt. Like, you going to have to get up and wipe yourself off at some point. You can't be sitting there complaining about what other people do when you ain't changing your own situation. When are you going to make a change? Like my mother said, you're going to have to shit or get off the pot. It's really that simple. But I want the people that I have in my life to reflect the woman that I am now, and the woman who I am changing, and the woman that I aspire and ascend, and that I'm ascending to be. I know all of this shit is going to be worth it at the end of the day, because I stuck to my path. I didn't let anybody deviate me from my path. And that's what matters at the end of the day. But I take full responsibility and accountability for the poor decisions and the people that I decided to attract, and the dumb decisions that I decided to make because I knew better. In some scenarios, I did know better. And yes, there was a time where I was trying to self-soothe and drink and smoke and fuck and do all of this other, animalistic shit. And I'm not saying that any of that stuff is necessarily wrong, but it still could be done within moderation. You need to find good people to do bad things with. And I'm so for real. You need to find good people to do bad things with. Because you still got to let out them deviancies. You still, you know what I'm saying? You still got to be yourself. You can't be good 100% of the time. Nah, you got to let your hair down a little bit. But you got to do bad things with good people. Because when you in good company, Even if you fall off a little bit, somebody gonna check you. Somebody gonna be like, nah, it's time to go. It's time to put the drink down. It's time to put the blunt down. It's time to get up out that girl or that guy face. It's time to go. So that's all I'm saying. I ain't trying to preach to y'all. I'm just telling y'all from experience, like, yo, sometimes, like, yo, you gotta understand, like, you gotta tighten up. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to come on here and give y'all today. I would love to hear, y'all ain't really necessarily got to tell me. I don't want to be in y'all business, but I am in y'all business. Tell me, like, like I said, just last year I was teetering on being mid-functioning. I was teetering. I was teetering. But, are you low functioning? You mid-level? Are you high functioning? Whatever level you're at right now is okay. Because if you heard this, you like, yo, tomorrow, in the next couple of minutes, right now, I could change. But it's up to you. How bad do you want this shit? How bad do you want it? Are you going to get tired of looking at your friend circle and saying, damn, all of these bitches do is gossip? Are you going to get tired of looking at that man you dealing with and saying, damn, all of this man does is deplete my self-confidence? Are you going to get tired of your family and saying, I'm tired of fucking taking photo ops with people who just mask and throw everything under the rug? When are you going to get tired? And when you get good and tired, that's when you're going to make your change. But y'all already know I love y'all how I love y'all. Y'all get down in the comment section. Like, comment, share, subscribe, donate to the channel. Do all of the big ones. And I'm going to talk to y'all later.